Welcome to episode 715 of the Entertainment 2.0 podcast, brought to you by thedigitalmediazone.com. I'm Josh Pollard.
And I'm Richard Gunther, and this is the show that puts you in control of your favorite movies, music, shows, and games. And we have some feedback this week. Yay.
We do. Very happy.
2 weeks in a row, and we're recording 2 weeks in a row. This streak won't last.
Oh,
well, I know it won't last because next week is challenging for me.
Well, so maybe you might not be here next week, but that doesn't mean that I won't be.
Okay, fair enough.
But Tracy would probably like both of us to be here. She emailed us entertainment20 at thedigitalmediazone.com.
Do you know Tracy?
No, I do not. Do you?
How do you know Tracy's a she?
That's a good point. I don't know.
Anyway, Tracy says, I just heard your report on TV time shutting down. Unfortunately, I heard about it after it had already closed permanently.
Oh,
so
man.
I was unable to transfer anything. I know.
We thought
I'm
this
sorry.
would happen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whoops. It's my fault.
Sorry.
Like, it was my fault for us not podcasting for a couple of weeks in a row.
Anyway, Tracy goes on and says, I also signed up for Tracked, but my research suggested to then use Showly, Showly, as my main interface. So now, when I update Showly, it automatically syncs with Tracked. So I think what they're talking about is that Tracked actually can be a back end to other front end apps, which is really kind of cool about Tracked. Supposedly, Showly has an interface that is more similar to TV Time than the Tracked app. I haven't used the Track app, so I can't say. I still like the TV Time interface better, but I'm getting used to Showly. The free version works fine. I tried a different app first, but it immediately wanted me to upgrade in order to put in a watch time of the original date. Showly lets me do that on the free version. And this is one of the tricky things. This is me weighing in now. This is one of the tricky things with these free apps is that every one of them kind of has different things that you need the premium version to use. And it's kind of why I've just decided to stick with Tracked. But anyway, following up, I listened to every episode. I was wondering if TV Time might be mentioned, and it was. Happy TV watching. Well, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I'm sorry we really missed the beat on this one, but they didn't give us a whole lot of time.
No, crazy short window of time to be able to get your data out of there.
And fun fact, not surprising to anyone, I'm sure. I think it was like the day before it went dark that I was actually doing the transfer. So
no, not surprising to anybody who's currently on this podcast with you. That's for sure.
Yeah, not surprising. I'm kind of a last minute guy. I used to be the guy that ran onto the plane right when they were closing the door, when you could still get away with doing that.
Right. Right. When is the last time you actually filed your taxes by April 15th, Richard?
Let's not even go down that path.
Right. Well, Tracy, thank you for sending that message in. And for anybody else who'd like to send us a message about any of our topics, all of our contact information will be at the end of the show, or just head over to the website, www.thedigitalmediazone.com, to get all of our contact info. So let's jump into the news for the week. And starting with video news, Richard, like just having any positive stories to talk about feels like just things that don't happen very often. So I'm excited to get to start with one positive news story. Although,
I mean, the majority of
yes,
our news this week is positive. So
yeah, I think really only the second story is negative. This is actually a really positive week. Yeah. Okay. So our first positive story of the week is definitely an announcement I wasn't expecting, but YouTube Premium announced that they will eventually start giving all of their paid premium subscribers access to Peacock Premium for free. And Peacock Premium would normally cost you $11 a month on top of your YouTube Premium subscription, which is $16 a month or more if you've got a family plan or something like that. So you're getting, granted, it's the ad-supported version of Peacock, but you're getting it for free. Like this is, when you look at the cost savings, it's a pretty massive incentive to get totally for free. But if you're like, I don't care if it's free, I don't want the version that has ads, which is what this is, they will allow you to upgrade to the ad-free tier, but they've not announced details for what that's going to cost. And they've got a little bit of time to iron out those details because this won't actually launch until early 2027.
You have to wonder, like, how they're pulling this off.
Right.
I'm not aware of any existing relationship between Universal and Google right now that would make this beneficial to either of them, frankly, without some sort of financial incentive. And so they're saying it's free, but I guess my concern, as with all of this stuff and all the news stories that we're constantly reporting on, is how long is this price going to stay the same? Are they going to start to inch the price on YouTube Premium up because, we're adding more value and there's cost to that value, and maybe it's not going to cover the whole, consumer-facing difference, but add a couple bucks here and there every few years.
Right.
I don't know. I'm suspicious of this, but it's cool. I also don't really get it because I don't think of YouTube Premium. Well, I don't really think of YouTube as a destination for anything but videos. And I know some people think of it as also for music. I don't think of it as, here's where I'm going to go get next day primetime content.
No.
From a subscription service, right? Like I don't. So I'm having a hard time connecting those two.
Yeah, especially if there's not like a direct tie-in. Like, are you going to have will Peacock shows show up as, suggested tiles in the YouTube app if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber?
I am guaranteeing you that they will, and they'll probably show up if you're not a premium subscriber with a prompt to upgrade to access this content.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like the row of games and the row of shorts and the row of this and that I constantly have to say, hide this or show less of this.
Yeah, but maybe you won't, because aren't you already a Peacock subscriber?
Yeah, I am. And so that's an interesting point. So I wonder a couple things. I wonder if it would make sense for me to switch this over. I don't know that it does necessarily, because I ultimately get Peacock for free because I get a credit from American Express for the Peacock service. And I currently have the ad-free version. If I wanted the ad-free equivalent, I'd have to pay extra if I got it over on YouTube Premium. I could deal with the ads because I hardly ever watch Peacock stuff. It's very rare. But if I did that, then now I'm kind of sacrificing the Peacock experience just to bundle it with YouTube, which I don't think of when I'm thinking about Peacock anyway. So I don't know. I don't know that this makes sense for me, but there might be some folks who are thinking, hey, there's content on Peacock that I want to watch. Somehow I haven't managed to see all of the Friends episodes 3 times yet. And so maybe I could start doing that for free.
Yeah. Well, and I do wonder if it goes like that, if the integration will be so deep as to be able to also give you tiles that are like, here's the next episode in the show you're watching. And
I would expect so. Yeah,
you would hope so. They don't really announce any of that, but you would kind of hope so. In which case, it's almost turning YouTube TV into more of like a Google TV experience. And then I would absolutely expect...
hold on. Just be careful here. This is not YouTube TV. This is
right. YouTube Premium,
YouTube.
sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
It's turning YouTube into a Google TV experience. Yeah, thank you for that correction. Because I'm already expecting, if you're watching Friends or some other show on Peacock, I would expect a row of content suggested for like, here's some behind the scenes clips from Friends or whatever. And, that'll be data sharing agreements between the two services, helping to feed each other's algorithms. And, that's where I expect a lot of the benefits to actually be for the companies on that front. But yeah, if it gets that full integration that we're used to seeing from like our streaming platform providers like Google TV, Apple TV, where it's tracking next episodes for you and stuff, then that does make it a more obvious experience for people to get from YouTube into Peacock for things.
Yeah, for sure. And let's go down that algorithm path, right? One of the things that YouTube is amazing at is suggesting content that it thinks you will like. And it is oftentimes pretty good, like pretty on track for stuff that would be aligned with your interests based on what you've watched so far. But it's not just based on what you've watched so far, because it's Google. It knows what you've searched.
Right.
It knows what sites you've clicked through to from Google. So as an example, today I bought a new coffee maker because our coffee maker died. Guess what showed up in YouTube for me this evening? Coffee review videos.
Yep.
Coffee maker review videos, right? So if they can apply that, let's say you're going towel shopping, wouldn't it be kind of funny if it showed the episode of if it recommended the episode of Friends where Monica's asked in a game show how many categories of towels they have? Actually, I don't think it was Monica. Monica has the categories of towels. Someone else had to guess it. But anyway, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to do some really cool recommendations.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait until early 2027 to find out what this is going to look like, but excited to see that. So let's transition into our one bad news story of the week. And everybody in the world can guess what type of story this is going to be. It's a price increase, this time on hardware, which again, not surprising. This time it's Roku. It was just, 2 episodes ago that we were talking about Apple TV raising the cost of their devices. Now it's Roku. And it hasn't even been like a full official announcement. This was more spotted by a website when they noticed that the MSRP for devices on Roku's own page have been increased, but the devices are on sale for what used to be the MSRP. It's one of those situations.
Could just be sleazy pricing practices with an opportunity to increase if they choose.
Well, they actually did reach out to Roku to get an official statement from Roku, and they did confirm that they are raising prices.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 2 devices that were mentioned in this article, the streaming stick, this is the really cheap device, going up from $30 to $40. That doesn't seem that bad. Like, okay, $10. I mean, it's still as a percentage going up a ton, but $40 for a streaming stick in 2026 doesn't really feel that bad to me.
Right.
It's the Roku Ultra one that is like, what are we thinking here, Roku? That device has previously been a $100 device, which frankly already seemed kind of expensive to me for a Roku. That is going up by 50% to $150 for a Roku Ultra.
For a Roku.
Yeah. Not for an Apple TV, for a Roku.
Right.
This is not a premium experience like you're getting out of an Apple TV where they at least have a more justifiable reason to charge a premium price tag. I just don't think that even with that Ultra branding on the Roku that anyone's ever really felt like, well, this is the top tier. I mean, it is the top tier, but it's still a Roku.
It's the top tier hardware, but it still serves you ads.
And a lot of them.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they've made the price of this higher than the Apple TV used to be, which is just kind of hard to wrap my head around because it's a friggin' Roku.
Yeah.
And it's not like I think that the challenge there for me is that this is the same company that has sold bargain basement price SKUs so they could get them into Walmart and they could get them into whatever outlet wanted a specific price for it. And so, we've gone from seeing, like, at one point in time, there was a 1995 or 1999 Roku stick.
Yep. Yeah.
And now for them to be charging premium prices like this, I have a hard time swallowing that. And I'm not a Roku customer. I am a Roku stockholder. I should just say that with just every one of these stories.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't get this at all.
Yeah.
I don't know how they figure customers are going to be okay with it.
Right. The reason for it is as expected. The price of RAM is increasing a lot. And these have memory in them. So
yep.
they do have to pay more for their components. I get that. But also, these devices, like you said, they play ads. And it seems pretty reasonable to believe that they make, as a company, far more revenue from you over the course of your, product lifetime by serving you ads than they ever do from selling you this hardware.
Oh yeah.
And for these devices, which are so heavily dependent on ad revenue, it just doesn't seem as acceptable to me to see massive price increases. I get some smaller price increases, but the best thing that we can compare this to is televisions, because televisions are doing the same thing, right? Televisions have gotten dirt cheap because they are spying on everything that you watch so that they can sell it to ad providers. And I mean, these streaming services, they're getting it on both sides because they're collecting your data to sell to ad providers and displaying ads to you. So, but we're not getting more discounts on these devices. They're still continuing to go up in price.
Yep. You can buy a Roku TV, a 40-inch Roku TV at Best Buy now. No, it's not going to be a great TV. It's going to be a high definition 1080p TV.
Right.
It's going to be edge lit and stuff like that. But you can buy a Roku TV cheaper than this box now.
Wow. An entire TV for less than the cost of a Roku Ultra.
Right.
Sheesh. Okay. Well, it's our only bad news story. Why don't we just move along and get back into the good news?
All right. So this is one where Josh is probably wondering, is he going to give me crap for putting this under video? And normally,
no, I was going to put it under audio, but I knew you would give me crap for putting it under audio.
Yeah, this falls into other, but it does have a video twist. So that's why it makes sense here. So I think most folks know that I use Pocket Casts. Do you still use Pocket Casts,
Oh,
Josh?
yeah. I've been a Pocket Cast diehard for many, many years.
It is my it is my app of choice, and if they still had a lifetime license that I could purchase, I would, because I use this all the time. And this is one where I'd pay a lot of money for a lifetime license to unlock all of the features that they have. So Pocket Casts, basically, as far as I'm aware, uses the Apple TV library. So it's built on the information that a lot of the other systems are using. And they've added a new platform to their ecosystem. They now have an app for the Apple TV, and they're going to have one coming for the Android TV. And you might ask yourself, why? Why would I want podcasts on my TV? And the answer is because everything that is old is new again. And video podcasts are a thing again. And so this gives them a platform where they can include video content, video content and show it to you in your feed, and you can watch it on your television, which is pretty cool. Now, Josh, do you have any video podcasts in your feed?
No, I do not, because anything that I might want to watch as a video podcast is probably also a YouTube channel.
Right.
And I subscribe to it on YouTube and watch it there.
Yeah, that's where I am too. I kind of feel like YouTube took over the role of video podcasts. I used to watch video podcasts a lot. I was kind of a little bit miffed when Apple and some other apps more or less diminished the presence of video podcasts in their ecosystems. So I think it's kind of funny that this is becoming a thing again. But this is cool. It makes your queue and all of your playlists and your up next and everything else that you might have in your Pocket Cast app synchronized now to your Apple TV, or in the future to your Android TV. So you can pick it up there and listen or watch there, which is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll use this ever.
I don't think I'm going to use it a ton, but even if you don't watch video podcast, there's still lots of use cases for listening to audio podcast from your TV. I mean, how many of us turn on our TV to listen to Spotify?
Well, not me, but I could see that.
But for some people, the best speakers in their house are connected to their TV.
Wait, and you make a good point, right? Like, I'll have the TV on and maybe have some music playing just because I want some music or something on in the background. But if I'm listening to podcasts, I'll walk around with my phone and noise is coming out of my phone while I'm walking around the house doing stuff. Why not just pick it up on the Apple TV?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's cool. And we didn't mention this, but it's free. So it doesn't require the premium plan to use this. You can just use it with your existing subscription.
Right. I mean, it's pretty much good news all the way around. Cool. Yep. Just like gaming. Not really, especially if you listen to what I had to say last week. But we do actually have two good news stories even in the gaming world. So first one, this was really kind of a surprise to me. Microsoft is expanding their backward compatibility project. And even though it seemed to be a project of theirs that was getting less attention, deprioritized, but they're bringing it back in new ways, in really surprising ways. They are bringing Xbox games, in this case, original Xbox games, to PC. Now, this feels absolutely targeted at the next console-ish experience, the Project Helix, as they've codenamed it, which is expected to basically just be a PC type experience.
Right.
So
this is not throwaway that they're just doing just for your PC. Right?
Yeah. There wasn't some program manager at Xbox who said, guys, I really love these 4 classic Xbox games, and I need a way to play them on PC. This is absolutely part of a larger strategy that is coming into play, because one of the biggest questions that we've had about Project Helix is Microsoft has been leading the way in the backwards compatibility battle going back to 2015. But none of those games are playable on PC. So if the next console is a PC, how is that going to work? And this, I think, is giving us a little bit of insight into how that might work. But I think it's only maybe a little bit, because the 4 games that they've announced, it's Blinks, the Time Sweeper, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Crimson Skies, very popular game, and Fusion Frenzy, an old party game on the original Xbox. It's not just a straight up just make it work. Like, they did do some extra work on these to give you more anti-aliasing settings and support for VSync and increased resolution. Like, they did more than just simply make it available on on PC. which I can't imagine they would do it for every single game that they might want to make available on PC to attempt to essentially do a backwards compatibility version of like Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Xbox Series games for Windows going forward with this next console.
And unless it's for more than just your PC, right? It's for the future generation.
Yeah, it's got to be.
So I think you kind of glossed over what, to me, is the biggest point of interest. And maybe with AI now, this is not as big a deal. But as Paul describes this, they've almost kind of remastered these games for the 4K experience. So, you have these old games, these old classic games that if you just played them now and didn't upscale them, they'd kind of look like crap.
Right. Like the original Xbox, that wasn't even an HD system.
Right. Right. So I am really interested to see how these look, because I think this could be really cool for some of the games. And I'd be really curious to see how it handles games that we think of kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but we almost reminisce about the old pixely style of some games. How are they going to handle those? Are they going to upscale those and now they're going to look a whole lot better? Or are they going to continue to be blocky because, isn't it cool if this was a blocky game? So yeah, it'll be curious to see how this plays out game by game as they continue to add to the catalog.
Yeah. Well, anybody who has a Windows PC and has Game Pass can try this out for free, because all of these games are available in Game Pass now. So that's cool. All right, let's move on to our last gaming story. And that is from Amazon Luna, a service we don't talk about a ton that I think doesn't have a lot of mind share in the gaming space. Maybe because it's Amazon and no one thinks of Amazon when it comes to gaming, but maybe also because Amazon Luna is basically a game streaming service. So this is sort of like Project xCloud. It's sort of like Google Stadia when that still existed. You have an app or a web browser, and they give you a library of games that you can stream to play them. And it's been available for a few years. It is supposed to be pretty darn good streaming functionality in terms of like pretty low latency and things like that. In fact, they even have their own dedicated controller for the service that is a Wi-Fi controller. It's not Bluetooth, it's Wi-Fi. So your controller is actually talking directly to the streaming service to minimize latency even more. And service, like I said, it's been around for a few years. You use it on your PC or whatever, or a dedicated app. And now they're building Amazon Luna directly into Amazon's Prime Video app so that you don't even need a separate app for this thing. As long as you're watching Prime Video on an Amazon Fire TV device, you will now see games in that experience. And if you are an Amazon Prime customer, which you probably are if you're watching Prime Video, especially Prime Video on a Fire TV, then you actually get access to the vast majority of the gaming catalog in Luna for free. In fact, I was poking around with this before we recorded the show, and it was kind of a struggle for me to find a game that wasn't included for free. It seems like the vast majority of their library is just included for free if you're a Prime subscriber. So now, if you're watching on your Fire TV device and you've already got like a Bluetooth controller hooked up to it, you don't even need to leave the Prime Video app to be able to get to these games. And I think one of their big hopes here is there's a lot of direct connections between what we're watching and what we're playing. And Amazon is probably the best example of that because they have the Fallout TV show on Amazon Prime Video. And in Amazon Luna, they have 3 or 4 of the Fallout games that you can play right inside of Luna for free.
Yeah, it's funny because that's really the world where Microsoft wanted to play, right?
Yeah, yeah. And who owns the studio that makes Fallout games? Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very interesting. Yeah. So, I never think of Luna, but as I was doing my research for this story tonight, I was like, there's a couple of games that I want to play that are here, and they are not on Game Pass. I would have to pay to play these on something else, and I can just play them for free here. I'm gonna check this out. Don't be surprised if in a very coming soon episode of this podcast, when we get to what's going on in my entertainment center, I talk about playing some of these games inside of Luna because I can at no additional cost. Now, I don't have a Fire TV, but I can do this on my MacBook if I hook up a Bluetooth controller to it. So there's lots of options here. But.
So can you do it on other streaming devices? Like if I had an Apple TV with the Prime Video service and I had a controller hooked up to that, would I be able to use it? I'm clearly asking for a friend because I'm not going to.
Right. So I believe there is a Luna dedicated app for all of those other platforms that would allow you to do that. But the real new thing that we're talking about here is that it's just built into the Prime Video app, but only the Prime Video app on Fire TV devices.
Okay, on Fire TV. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I missed that part.
Yeah, there probably is a Luna app on Apple TV.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you don't think of it very often. I keep forgetting it exists.
Right.
Again, said by someone who's not a gamer.
Right.
Every time it comes up, I'm like, that's still around. Interesting.
Yeah. But similar to Netflix, like Netflix has some games that they've purchased and you can play some of them from the Netflix app on your TV. And they have a similar section of their library that they call Game Night. And these are the types of games that you might play with your non-hardcore gamery friends that you've just got some people over and let's play a game. And these are the types of games where you just use your phone as your controller, if there's even a controller required, very similar to the Netflix experience. And they're just expanding that to be like, all right, cool. Hook up your Xbox controller or buy a Luna controller and pair that to your device and play Fallout or Indiana Jones or whatever. So,
yeah, don't buy a Luna controller, buy an Xbox controller.
Well, I don't if all you're going to play is Luna, you might actually
ever in your life. I mean, your Xbox controller is more universally usable.
True. That is very true. Yeah. And let's be honest, if you're a gamer of any sort, you've got an Xbox controller somewhere. But you could probably use a PlayStation 4 controller also. So if you're more in Team Blue instead of
even I have some hanging around.
Yeah, you do. All right, well, that's it for our news for this week. So, Richard, what's been going on in your entertainment center?
Well, shockingly, I have not been playing games.
Very shocked.
Not a lot, actually. Just kind of keeping things focused right now. So we've watched a couple more episodes of The Four Seasons. We're in season 2 of that. I continue to watch Big Brother, and of course, that's 3 times a week. And for some stupid reason, they think
3 times a week?
Yeah. And for some reason, they think that at least 1, if not 2 of those episodes should be an hour and a half long each week, which is wrong. Oh, also, by the way, some weeks it's on 4 nights. And I don't watch the fourth night because that's a Friday recap where they have former people from Big Brother talking about all the stuff that happened on the last week of Big Brother. It should be a podcast. It used to be a podcast, but no, now it's on TV because apparently, I don't know, Paramount has nothing better to put on the air on Friday nights. So
That's probably
So,
true.
I'm keeping up with that. I am also finally back into Silo. So I watched the season finale from season 2 again to kind of bring myself back up to speed. And now I am starting to watch season 3. I'm not up to date, but I'm liking it. It's good. I'm very happy with it. And again, I didn't read the book, so I don't know how far it's diverting. I'm enjoying this kind of split world. Reminds me a little bit of Westworld from that perspective, where we're seeing kind of two different stories going on, and I'm liking that. So, yeah. And then finally, we finished the first season of Loot. This is the Maya, and now I've forgotten her last name. Anyway, this is the comedian from Saturday Night Live, and it's a very funny show. And the finale was certainly a cliffhanger. So I'm glad there was a season 2 and is a season 3, and we'll be continuing to watch that. And that's it. That's it. I haven't gotten any further in Dungeon Crawler Carl, largely because I haven't gone on any long trips lately. Maybe this weekend I'll get a chance to listen to more of that. And I'm behind on podcasts. What else is new?
Yeah, that's very common. All right. Well, my list is also very short. I had a big, fun, busy weekend that didn't include watching things, except for Silo. We did watch Silo. I think we're one episode behind. You
4
mentioned
is out now. 5 will be out on Wednesday.
Wednesday or Friday? I thought they came out on Fridays.
Is it Fridays? Okay.
I think it's Fridays. Right. I think we're up. I think we're through episode 3. You mentioned the like 2 parallel storylines or whatever that are going on. Mm-hmm. That newer part of the storyline that you're seeing that wasn't in season 1. That's the part that's pretty different from the book.
Oh,
there's a lot more being described than what was in the book.
Okay.
But it's good stuff. Like if they're adding stuff to Hugh Laurie's writing, they're doing a good job of it. I found that part of this season to be really good.
So. And remind me, is he involved in this?
Did I say Hugh Laurie? That is not his name. Hugh Laurie is that actor.
I was curious about the coincidence there, but
Hugh Howey is his name. Yes, that
Hugh
is the
Howey.
author.
Okay.
Yes.
Regardless, is Hugh Howey, who I assume is a he?
Yes.
Is he involved in this at all? Do we know?
I think so, but I don't know. Is he involved more as like a director of like, yes, please follow essentially the thing that I gave you?
Yeah.
Or is he actually writing some of this stuff?
Right. Like if he's contributing to the screenplay, or if he's just like an executive producer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But regardless, they're doing a great job with this show.
Well, hopefully they don't go, all Game of Thrones on us.
Right.
And
and just ruin it. Yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Hopefully not. The other thing that's getting constant TV time in my house is the show The Rookie. This is a cop drama, comedy drama with Nathan Fillion. I realized, so my youngest daughter is the one who got really into the show, and now we're all into it. I realized like yesterday, I need to talk to them about how much of this show do they like because of Nathan Fillion, or is it the rest of it? Because if Nathan Fillion is a big part of this, then maybe I need to introduce them to Firefly. Maybe. You're muted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, although, I mean, pretty much every time I've talked about Firefly on this show, I've said, yeah, it's great. It's too bad they never finished it. So,
well,
I mean, they sort of did with the movie.
But I mean, we know how I feel about that.
Yeah. But that was entertaining. God, I haven't watched Firefly in 10 years. that would be interesting to pull that up. I don't even know whether it's available. It's got to be available to stream on something.
It's available to stream on
Richard's Plex server.
Gunther Plex.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. So that's it on the TV side. No movies. Although, Richard, in less than a month, I think it's August 20th, whatever that Thursday is, that weekend, it's not exactly the 25th anniversary because the movie came out in June, not August, but this is the 25th anniversary year for the original The Fast and the Furious. So you could do like Jen and I will be doing and go to the theater and watch the original Fast and the Furious movie in theaters.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see the original in theaters. I saw it on video.
Yeah, it's so fun. We are for sure going to the theaters to watch that movie again. It's going to be a blast. In terms of gaming, I barely even did any of that over the last week. What little gaming I did do was with Forza Horizon 5, though. But we've basically wrapped up all of the major content for that game, so probably be hearing about some other games soon. I wish it was Diablo 4. There was an expansion that came out in April that I thought was going to be on sale by now and that I would be able to talk the rest of my friends into buying it if it went on sale, but it hasn't gone on sale yet. So a little bit longer before some Diablo 4 action. And then books, finished the Authenticity Project. I can't remember if I had mentioned my full take on that last week, but fun story. Not the most realistic thing ever. A little bit of a rom-com type book, but I enjoyed it. It's an interesting idea, and you can probably get it for free from your library in ebook or audiobook format.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's it for what's going on in my entertainment center as well. Richard, you don't just do this podcast. Occasionally, you do other shows too.
Yeah, I mean, people might think that you're teasing a new episode of Homeline, but don't get excited. So, as I had mentioned previously that I had recorded an episode of The Verge's Version History podcast, and that was so much fun. I did that with my friend Jen Tui, and we talked about Philips Hue, and they record a bunch of episodes, and then they put them out over time. Well, finally, the episode we recorded back in April, I think, has hit the feeds. So if you haven't subscribed to it, you probably haven't heard it yet. And if you're interested, you can just go get the episode, of course. And we had a great conversation. I loved it. And it was so much fun. Jenny is always such a delight to talk with. And I love when I get to see her in person as well at these events like CES and such. There's another one that I'm going to also recommend folks listen to because I think it's particularly poignant for this crowd. And that was the episode, I think about 2 before this one, about Harmony remotes. And I'm really curious to get people's take on their take on the Harmony remote. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but I was screaming at my phone while I was listening to this because I feel like, and it's funny because I joked with the host that, man, I wish I could be on that episode because I've reviewed like over a dozen of these things. And one of the guys says, "Oh yeah, I think I have like 6 of these in my basement." I'm like, 6, that's adorable.
Right.
So yeah, I that's another good one that I recommend checking out if you're curious to hear more about the history of the Harmony remote.
Yeah. I don't subscribe to The Verge's podcast, but the Harmony one definitely is one I should listen to. And man, any opportunity to listen to you and Jen Tui nerd out on smart home, but especially lighting. Yeah. I'm not going to miss that. That's for sure getting downloaded tonight.
It was a blast. So again, that's The Verge's Version History podcast.
Nice. All right. Well, if you would like to get a hold of us, chat with us about anything we are talking about here on this show, you can do that in a bunch of different ways. We are on the socials. Richard is primarily over on Mastodon at Richard Gunther, but he's also on Blue Sky, richardgunther.com. I'm primarily on Blue Sky at Josh Pollard, but I'm also on X. And so is the website. Digimedia Zone is on X. And you can email us and find us all the other different ways. All of these things are linked in our show notes, including every story that we talked about on this episode. Just go to www.thedigitalmediazone.com to get all of that information for when you're not driving your car right now, or maybe you're on a long run and you don't want to pause to do all of that. Well, just go back to our website. It's easy to find, and you'll get all of that information there. So that is going to do it for episode 715. He's Richard Gunther, and I'm Josh Pollard. Thanks for listening to Entertainment 2.0. Adios.
Goodbye.